Hi, my name is Dave Hall, and I'm privileged to serve as the International Director of TEAM, the Evangelical Alliance Mission. As you well know, 2020 has been a difficult year, gripped by a global pandemic. At times it's been challenging to figure out what God is doing and how we can participate with Him in bringing His blessing to the nations. Well, this year, there's a phrase of a song that's well loved at Christmas time that especially stands out to me. It's in the song, "O Holy Night." And the author uses one particular term. He talks about a weary world rejoices. And if there is a word to describe the world we live in today, I'd say it's the word weary. Well, we have prepared for you some stories of how God has been breaking through into a weary world gripped by darkness and brokenness in the middle of a pandemic. Watch with me and rejoice at what God is doing.
Hi, we are Pete and Emily Johnson here at Rancho Camino, and we have a saying here: we serve people, not programs. And so when COVID hit us this year and the programs that we had were no longer serving the context of the situation of COVID, we decided to ditch our regular programs, or rather looking at the real needs of the people around us and how we could serve them in this context and time.
So in this new COVID era, within our network, we raised $50,000 that went to food relief and also job relief. We gave out 1,700 food baskets that served and fed around 6,800 people. But one of the coolest things that came from the relief that we did is that we were able to work with our Mexican staff that provided the leadership for the program that we were doing in the communities where we served. They organized how we would distribute those in a way that preserved people's dignity and also in a way that was safe for everyone involved. And we also were able to get a lot of data. Everyone who received a food basket filled out a survey, and so we were able to take the results from those surveys now as we move from relief from the COVID era into rehabilitation. And we're praying that God would bring spiritual fruit from the food baskets that we handed out, and also that we as a ministry would be able to continue to support people's leadership in the communities that we serve.
We are Eric and Susan Binion at Union Bible Institute in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. We ran our first term this year as normal, but right in the middle of the final exams, South Africa was hit with a hard lockdown because of COVID-19, and we had to send all the students home. The second term, we taught by distance using email and WhatsApp, and then the third term in July, students came back to campus.
A couple students came back with COVID, and we had to put some really strict rules in place. No singing in chapel or classes, and no small group prayer. Pretty much all the spiritual connection with God that we usually had going here as a corporate group was shut down.
We started to have a little bit of problems as some of the students had fear, some of them had complaints. In the midst of that, we also had attempted break-ins on campus.
The leadership kind of woke up and said, wait a minute, we've really left ourselves vulnerable spiritually by shutting down all of this prayer and worship.
We started having 24-hour prayer chains, prayer walks. We had one of our students who had recovered from COVID testify in chapel and really encouraged the campus and turned things around. And so we really ended on a strong note. So we thank God for His grace in getting us through this 2020.
Aren't those great examples of how God breaks through even in times of darkness and hopelessness? We are so blessed and thankful to be able to engage in that along with you, our faithful partners. So many of you have been diligent in praying, so many have been sacrificial in your giving, and some have done that for a very long time, even in trying circumstances. And we want to say thank you. We depend upon our partnership with you to fulfill God's calling on our lives together. The Christmas carol that I referred to earlier has another phrase right after the one I mentioned. It says, "For yonder breaks a new and glorious morn." As we look forward to 2021, I want to encourage you with the reality that every single day, every single week, every single month, and every single year, there is a new and glorious morn breaking in the kingdom of Christ around the world. And we are looking forward to seeing what God will continue to do in 2021 as Jesus reveals Himself, builds His church, and His kingdom advances. We are so glad to look forward to that future with you. And I pray, along with all of my friends and colleagues and team, that 2021 will be a year of great spiritual blessing and fruitfulness in your life, and that together we will see God's generous, gracious hand at work in us, through us, to the blessing of the nations for His honor and glory.